Not the start that we were hoping for from Mitch Keller. Only went 3 innings, gave up 4 hits, 3 runs. All 3 were earned. Struck out 3 and walked 2. And then you got the back-to-back home runs from the Bucks. I thought that was like game on time. But the one thing you never want to do, it was in the top half of the 4th, or the bottom half of the 4th, when Reynolds went deep, solo shot, Valdez followed with the back-to-back jack. And that made it 3-2. And what what you really always want to see when your team gets on the board and gets right back into a one-run ball game, the last thing in the world you want to do is give up runs in that second half. And then the unfortunate element there was the very next half inning, 3 more runs put up by the Braves, and they're a very, very good team. I mean, this is not really any type of, you really looked at the schedule and you realized when you were heading to the break, it was going to be tough sledding because you had, and you still have, not just the Braves, for this 3-game series, that's still very much anyone's series. I don't think the one thing we've learned with the Pirates, and Bob Walk mentioned it during the broadcast, there have been a lot of great comebacks. There really have. Now, to even that out, and you'll see that I'm always straight ahead. I'm very open and honest about what I've seen and how I feel about it. The Pirates have shown a great ability to come back. They've overcome some pretty significant leads. They've also given up way too many significant leads, and that's why they sit right where they are right now. Come into this game at 47 and 46, have the opportunity to get to the All-Star break above 500 for the first time in a good while, and I think that would be something that, in terms of momentum, in terms of feeling good about the second half, O'Neal Cruz, not sure when. I know he's out until at least through the break. We'll get more, I think, updated on his situation, after the All-Star break, because they let us know a good while ago he would not be back before the break. So I think we'll get a better sense of time for his return after the break. And now, unfortunately, every time Connor Griffin really seemed to get just so comfortable at this new level for a 19, now 20-year-old rookie, he's an outstanding, even better than advertised. His physicality, and, you pay the price for that. You certainly get the 2 amazing catches that he made in his last ball game, the 2 diving catches that he made. One of them, unfortunately, tore a tendon in his left hand, in his left finger. So you love that kind of aggressive play, that hustle, that skill, the way he steals bases, the way he runs the bases, the power that he has. And he is locked up, folks, from a Pirate perspective. A young Connor Griffin that's going to be here for quite a while. It doesn't get much more exciting than that. And now I don't quite have that same, excitement for the Magician, for Valdez, but there's a lot of it. And for those of you that have been Pirate fans for a while, he reminded me immediately of Aramis Ramirez. And he, unfortunately, is the big fish that got away. He could have been a cornerstone for the Bucks. He came out of the gate as a 20-year-old, which we're seeing now. Valdez is 22, but very exciting to see that power from the right side. So we are wide open for business. 866-391-1020. Go ahead and give us a call. What's on your mind? I think a lot of fans, there are a lot of things going on in last night's game that kind of had you scratching your head. Now, the true old school baseball fans, they want to see history. They want to see something unbelievably exciting, which, how many people have witnessed in person or even watched an entire perfect game? Those are so rare. And there was one that was being tossed for six full innings. Now, the good news was at least they allowed Jared Jones to go into the sixth inning. They had him on a 5-inning limit, but he had been so efficient with his pitches, Donnie Kelly and I'm sure the higher-ups said, yeah, let him go out for another half. And so he did. He completed a perfect 6 innings on only 77 pitches. So for me, I would have been okay with that 7th inning. But here's a pitcher that is a power pitcher, dotting 101. I mean, there is some serious torque going on there. And when you come back after missing an entire season with a serious arm injury and a very serious arm surgery, of course you're going to err on the side of caution. I have zero problem with that. You were not going to get to see Jared Jones attempt to complete a perfect game. That was not going to happen. Now, the one thing that I would like to have an explanation about, and I don't think we'll get one, and that's okay. Professional franchises are run very tight to the vest. They want to have a certain amount of openness and honesty with the fan base and with the media. But at the same time, you don't want all the other franchises getting a peek, behind the curtain. So I get all that. Transparency, I think, is a really effective way to run anything. Because if you hide or run for or kind of camouflage the truth, that'll always bite you somehow, some way. Now, I'm not suggesting that they're doing that, but they're just not coming out and say what the plan is. I mean, I think it was 7-2 when Majinski got into the ball game, and I'm thinking, really? I mean, you do have that day game the next day. There might be an opportunity, to get him in last night, and they wanted to secure the win. They wanted to get their first win for Paul Skeens in a couple of months. They needed to get that. He needed that. Now, I know the win-loss record of a pitcher now is no longer the be at all. It's just what the team does around you when you start is how the game comes out. They don't really put that on the pitcher like they used to. Remember back in the day when I remember when the Pirates beat the Orioles in 1971 to win the World Series. The Orioles had 4 20-game winners. 4 20-game winners. And I can't even imagine the number of complete games that those 4 had during the course of that season. But you have to understand that, I don't care what sport it is that you follow or you're crazy about, they're going to evolve and they're going to change. And baseball, I mean, think about how the bullpens have grown and what a big portion of the roster now that's taken up. And I think it was 2, maybe 3 years ago, Major League Baseball conducted a very exhaustive research program on what's going on with pitchers' arms. Tommy John became way too common. And they researched what power pitchers, and they had medical doctors, they had athletic trainers, they had anyone that could give you any kind of insight into what's going on when a guy that's throwing at well over 90 miles an hour, what kind of toll that takes. The guys that used to go routinely throw complete games, things like that, they weren't throwing 95 to 100. They were maybe touching 90. Now, there's the Nolan Ryans of the world that I think he came back to throw out a first pitch at like 65 and he hit 85 on the gun. But that's God-given. And there's a very fine line between, do you let them really use their arms so much that they just build up so much strength, or is there only so many pitches at that level, at that intensity, that an arm can handle? And guess what? Despite all the exhaustive research, no one really knows for sure because every single arm is different. Every single release is different. Every single pitching motion is a little bit different. And the other thing, my dad, the best advice he ever gave me, when things don't make sense, check the money trail. And these pitchers now, certainly the Paul Skeens of the world, the Verlanders, I mean, go on and on with the big name pitchers. Garrett Cole left here with a nice chunk of change from the Yankees. I mean, you're protecting, if you bought, let's just try to make it relatable. You saved and saved and saved and decided you were finally going to treat yourself to an amazing luxury car. Well out of your price range, but you were going to treat yourself, something you've always wanted. You were going to do it. You were going to get yourself that Corvette or whatever, that BMW, that Mercedes, whatever it is. You had been dreaming of a certain car. If you go out and buy it, what are you going to do with that car? You're not going to miss an oil change. It's going to be in the garage. You're going to hand wash it, hand dry it. You're going to treat this thing beyond belief because of the investment that you made. Well, that's the same true with Major League franchises. When you go out and you sign, and keep in mind, Major League Baseball contracts are 100% guaranteed. So whatever it is that you sign, you are on the hook for that amount, no matter what. So as far as the things that people were upset about last night, keeping Jared Jones in the game to attempt to complete the perfect game, no, that's not something that the Pirates should have even considered, and they didn't. They gave him an extra half an inning. They let him pitch the sixth inning, which he did, miraculously well. I think it was an 8-pitch inning. So that part was okay. I would have been okay with the seventh inning because, he had already thrown a 77-pitch game, and I think you want to get him to ramp up a little more and a little more. So I think that would have been a good opportunity. But the bottom line is this, and I know that Dennis Santana has been struggling mightily. And, of course, he gives up the 2-run home run to who else but Joey Bart. There's karma out there in the world. And obviously you get traded away from a team and you get to beat them with a home run. I mean, that's what competitors live for. Back when I would gamble a little bit, and if there was a guy playing against a former team and there were any prop bets individually with that player, I would usually say that's a guy to bet on because that motivation is real. When someone not necessarily gives up on you but thinks they can somehow be better without you, that's about as good a motivator that you'll ever see in sports. Ever. Or, there's been so many great examples. There was a local kid in Pittsburgh that didn't get recruited by a certain school. He went elsewhere. Well, you knew he was going to beat up on that school, and he did. Those are the kind of things I'm pointing out. So for Joey Bart, not that he had any kind of long-standing history or any kind of great memories as a Pirate, but they just traded him away. So I think that was quite the motivator. Okay, we are wide open with some calls, 866-391-1020. The Pirates trail the Braves by the score of 6-4. They delayed it in the sixth inning. We are open for phone calls. We are going to take a quick break right here on the Pirates Radio Network.
Oh, it's
PNC
summertime.
Bank
You know what that
prefers
means?
long-term thinking.
Unpredictability with that weather. Colin Dunlap here to tell you all about Service Master Greater Pittsburgh. Storms, they hit fast, and I mean fast. Heavy rain, strong winds, sudden damage. Whoom! Before you know it, your roof flies off. Shingles are everywhere. There's a leak in your roof, your windows. It could just start small, then water damage becomes major. I mean major. Service Master Greater Pittsburgh responds immediately, 24/7, 365, handles that storm damage and the water restoration. Demand that yellow van. 412-RECOVER. That's the number. It's 412-RECOVER. Listen, when storm damage happens, every single minute matters. You make the right call, and it is the best call to make in the worst situation possible. So, demand the yellow van, Service Master Greater Pittsburgh. Number's easy to remember, 412-RECOVER. That's 412-RECOVER.
Your journey to beautiful draperies should begin and end in one of my state-of-the-art Hunter Douglas galleries. This is Lisa. Whether you go to my Wexford or McMurray gallery, I am behind every blind and drapery order. You'll only find me at Nest Expressions Window Fashions. Let's chat. 1-888-952-NEST or simply book a free shop-at-home appointment. NestExpressions.com.
My retired friends are going back to work. I'm worried Social Security won't be enough. BenefitsCheckup.org connected me to $1,000 a month for food and medicine. It's free. Visit BenefitsCheckup.org today.
Supported by the U.S. Administration for Community Living.
And welcome back. Pirates Radio Network. We're in a rain delay. Pirates trailing the Braves 6-4 in the sixth inning. We'll keep you posted as to when we're going to get back to some baseball, and we're definitely going to have some more baseball. But we're going to go to the phones, and this is Connor. Hello, Connor. Welcome to the show.
Hi, how you doing?
I've never been better. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm great. I'm just fishing right now, but I have some questions about our Buccos, man.
Okay.
What do you think happened to our guy, Mitch Keller? I mean, he just sucks now. What happened?
Well, it can be a lot of things. Arm slot, arm fatigue, just not hitting the spots. The ball's not coming out of his hand the right way. It's tough to call. And also, the longer you're in the league and the older you get, all of a sudden, that little bit of velocity that you need, to get a strikeout with second and third and 2 outs, those kind of things. He's been around. I mean, that arm has done a lot of work. And he's also put so much out there, and people are so familiar with what he does and when he does it. It just gets tougher and tougher, I think. The older you get as a pitcher, you better be pretty crafty, and he's probably missing his spots. The spots he used to hit. I don't know what age you are, but I know my golf game now. I used to be able to hit it over that bunker. I used to be able to hit it over the water from here, but now I can't. So I have to lay up in certain situations. I have to change my game. And pitchers, when they age in the big leagues, they have to adjust in a way they still find a way to get people out. And for whatever reason, he used to be so good in the first half of seasons, and then for whatever reason, he would kind of, not really finish well. I would hate to say that it's maybe the point where it's just maybe time. I don't want to say that in any way, but he only went 3 innings today. They needed a good start out of Mitch Keller today, and he didn't give them that. So
yeah, you really do need that, especially whenever
really
that we've had this bad.
Oh yeah, during the off season, I was all about, man, if they just had a couple bats, man, the way these guys are pitching, But last year, when they gave up 2 or 3 runs, you're thinking, well, that's it, they're done, because they weren't going to manufacture 3 or 4 runs to get back into a ball game. However, the one thing that is really cool is that now they're not. I don't feel badly so much about this game. I definitely think they can come back and find a way to get this, because this offense is for real. They lead the major leagues as of today in hits. They now have 118 home runs. You know how many they had all of last year? 107.
No, how many did they have?
Last year they had 117. This year, in today's home run by Brian Reynolds, now they're at one. No, they're actually now at 119 because of the other home run that they got.
Valdez.
So, yeah, with Valdez going deep in the back-to-back jacks, they're now sitting at 119, and that puts them, 2 over last year's total. So all of us that said, and I'm included, man, if they just score some runs, I'll deal with giving up runs. I'll deal with maybe some shaky defense here and there, because I'm so excited to see this. The Pirates have the opportunity to actually hit the ball with power, score some runs, make games exciting, and they've done all of that. But now we're kind of missing that pitching that was so good over the last couple years.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, dude, but at least it's exciting to watch games now.
They're
chance.
Still relevant, and they're still in it. And my goal for them right now, with the Brewers coming in tomorrow, please find a way to finish over 500.
Yes, sir. Well, it was awesome talking to you. Thanks for having me on your show.
Connor, you're very welcome. Thanks so much for checking in. I appreciate it.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, Connor checking in from Florida. That's pretty cool. Okay, got some good news. I think we're going to get right back to restart at 3:05. So I do have a minute or two left. Let's go to William. William, welcome. How are you?
How are you?
Never better. How about yourself?
Lifelong Pirate fan stuck in Detroit.
Oh, my goodness. How's that going for you?
Well, it's home.
Yeah, hey, Detroit, I remember being there for the Super Bowl when the Steelers took care of the Seahawks. That was a whole lot of fun. It's a great sports town. I think Detroit's very cool.
It is a great sports town, and all the Pittsburgh cousins came for that game, so we had a lot of fun.
Oh, I can't even imagine. I went up and checked, when Jim Leland took over the Tigers for a little bit, I took in a few games at New Tiger, or Comerica it's called. Is it still Comerica?
It is.
Yeah.
The bank
And I got to, and another thing.
Change the name next year.
And William, another thing that I was able to do, I was able to get to Tiger Stadium before it closed, and that was an incredible ballpark. Incredible.
It was a holy sanctuary. They should have never closed it. They should have rehabbed it and made it like Fenway and Wrigley. But
financially, they probably couldn't pull that up. They wanted the luxury suites and all the ways that they make money. I get it. It was a financial decision, but I agree. I wish they would have done that.
yeah. Hey, listen, I have a huge opportunity for you.
Okay.
When you talk to the Pirates GM, there is a significantly underused left-hand power hitter on the Tiger. His name is Kerry Carpenter. I think he'd fit great in Pittsburgh. He should be an everyday player.
We got that short porch in right field. What's that name again?
Short porch in right field. Look at his stats. He's got limited at-bats because A.J. Hinch platoons him. He can bat. He can play a full-time player.
Is he okay defensively?
He is.
Okay.
Is he the greatest outfielder? No.
Okay. But it's sick. The bat plays.
The bat plays all day.
The bat plays. William, I got to run. We're going to actually get back to some baseball here, so have a great day, and stay strong up there in Detroit for us, okay?
All right, buddy. Great talking to you.
All right, William, take care. Paul in Mount Lebanon, I'm so sorry. I'm not really sorry. I'm happy that we're going to get back to baseball, but I don't have time to give your call what I need. I want to remind you where you're listening.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
And we do have a restart time. Right now, we're hearing 3:05. Certainly hoping that that's accurate. Pleasure to be with you. 6-4. This time last year, if the Pirates trailed 6-4, I wouldn't be doing any live betting in the Pirates' favor. Now, I'm a reformed gambler, so I don't gamble at all, period, anymore. So I would still give the Pirates a pretty good chance to come back and get this one. Greg Brown and Bob Walk are standing by. Pirates trail the Braves by the score of 6-4. They're in the sixth inning. Not a very long delay, but from what I understand, the tarp is off the field. We're ready to go. I should see baseball being